Oh, it's still on. Holy smokes. I missed that. Hey everybody, so in today's video we're going to be catfishing and kind of testing out some of these poles I have. I'm going on a trip this weekend to Alabama and you're going to see that on this channel. I'm going to be fishing down there with these big 14-foot poles. And I'm going to be catfishing with this one here, and I'm going to have a bobber set up on it. And the other one I'm going to be bass fishing with, kind of seeing what I can catch, because I'll be using that on a pier. We're getting everything set up. Got my tripod, my poles out right now. Nothing's tied on them yet. I'll show you when I'm tying on, and then I got my chair. For the smaller of the two poles, I'm going to be rigging up this worm. Now, I may or may not use this weight here, this egg weight. I'm not sure. I don't really want to, but we may give it a shot anyway because I'm kind of out of options here. And then for the catfishing one, we're going to use this catfish bait. I use this on all my jugs and it does insanely well. And we're going to be using one of these hooks here with just a simple bobber wherever that went. All right, so I just rigged up my two poles. Here is the smaller pole of the two. This is what that looks like. Kind of crazy. We'll see. I'm sure a bass is going to bite that. And then here is the bigger one, the 14-footer. You can tell this is the smaller one. I think this is about 7 feet. This is 14 freaking feet. Huge. Look how many eyelets are on that thing. This top eyelet, I could almost, about the big as my pinky. But this is our setup here. We got a bobber and then maybe a foot down, that egg sinker. And this hook is what I use in all my jugs. It's really good hook. And I just love it. I don't even know where it's from. I found it one day in the garage. So let's get this big rod casted on out. I'm gonna aim for about right there and we'll see what we catch. Alrighty guys, here goes nothing. Sayonara. All right, so a little bit of an issue with that. I kind of wasn't thinking right. So with this big pole here, the bobber doesn't have enough air in it to float with that heavy of a weight. So I'm gonna leave it. It should be fine. I have a bite alarm on this thing, on this reel, and I'll show you guys that right here. So instead of the ordinary bell on top, and whenever the rod tip jiggles and twitches that something's on, it starts ringing real loud. I have this bite alarm back here and it's on right now, and the sensitivity I have all the way up. And whenever something pulls on the line, it starts beeping. Now I can turn the sensitivity down to where it takes a lot for it to go off, but I'll just leave it all the way up. So then whenever a dragonfly lands on my line, it goes off. So this is mainly just to test out my gear and make sure it's capable of catching some big fish down there in Alabama. But, I mean, I really want to test out the line and make sure I don't have to get anything else. And I want to see how these are going to perform against littler fish compared to saltwater fish. Enough talking. Let's get this worm on out there and see what we can catch. Not catching anything right now. Let's go to the usual bass spot. If you guys watched my last video, you can see right here this little lane that's clear of moss. We cleared out with that tool wherever it's at, and it's still here. So let's try to fish here. We were catching a lot of bass here last time. Let's see what we can catch. Send that halfway across the freaking pond. Oh! We got a tank! Holy smokes. I missed that. Oh, it's still on. Oh, holy moly, guys. Oh my goodness. There it is. Oh, what a fish. Holy mackerel. That's a good bass. All right. Well, it was looking a little bad out there. I wasn't really catching anything, and then this just took it. I thought I missed the hook set, that was pretty exciting. It's only been about 20 casts. I didn't really expect to catch much with that big sinker on there, but let's keep going. Fish number 1. All right, guys, that last fish really messed up the worm. I'm gonna go get a new one. All right, new worm, let's get it out there. All right, guys, I was just thinking about taking off that weight, and then I snapped my line like an idiot, so it's off. Let's retie it. Got the new worm on without the weight, so let's give that a shot. All right, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna go put a weight on. I'll be right back. Update on the catfish line, nothing yet. It is not dark enough yet, so we'll keep waiting and see what bites. All right, weights are on, quite a few. Had to work with what I got. Let's get out there. I was wanting to switch it up a bit. Let's try this spot over here. All right. Woo. All right, fish number 2. All right, I want to go back to the old spot. Let's head over there. I think we're gonna have a lot of luck over here in this spot again, now that we got the weight off. Another good fish. So I think this tackle is really holding up, and I'll be able to use it down there in Alabama to catch those really big saltwater fish. All right, here she goes. Alrighty, y'all, we caught, I think, 4 bass on this rod and reel, so I'll call it good. I think this is ready for the ocean, and hopefully it holds up, and you guys will tell. Subscribe and stay posted on when I post the video on when I take this and that other pole out to the ocean. All right, guys, we're out here. It's pretty dark out, and we are just not catching anything. So I'm gonna reel in the pole. We're not catching anything tonight. We're gonna have to do this again, and next time, maybe I'll even throw out my jugs. I normally have really good luck with those. That's all for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. This is Dalton, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.